August 13 is not just another day on the calendar. It is not something you glance at and pass over. It is a moment that demands your attention, a line in time where you are forced to choose. Continue living the same way you have been, or finally take the step you have been avoiding. Think about this. For months, maybe years, you've been repeating the same patterns, waking up with the same thoughts, carrying the same frustrations, promising yourself that change will come one day. But one day never comes on its own. It only comes when you decide that a date means something to you. August 13 can be that date. There's a reason most people never break free from the life they say they don't want. It's because they wait for perfect conditions, perfect timing, perfect clarity. But change never waits for you to be ready. Change comes when it's inconvenient. Change comes when you're uncomfortable. And August 13 is the moment to stop negotiating with yourself and stop asking if you feel ready. Readiness is not a feeling, it's a choice. You see, every person gets moments in life where the road splits. One direction leads back to what is familiar, safe, and predictable. The other leads into the unknown. The first path is easy because you've walked it 1,000 times. The second is uncertain because you've never walked it before. And that is why it feels uncomfortable. But here is the truth. On August 13, if you take the familiar path again, you will get exactly what you've been getting, nothing more, nothing less. That's the cost of choosing comfort over growth. The power of August 13 is not in the date itself. The power is in what you decide that date will mean for you. If you tell yourself that on this day you are breaking the loop, then you must break it. You must decide that the old excuses are dead. You must decide that hesitation is over. You must decide that no matter how you feel, you will act. That is how turning points are created. Some people will hear this and think it's dramatic. They will say, it's just a day. It doesn't matter. And they're right. For them, it doesn't matter because they've already decided it won't. But for the ones who are tired of seeing themselves stuck, tired of repeating the same conversations in their head, tired of saying next time while the years slip away, for them, August 13 can be the door they finally walk through. You must understand something. There will never be a moment where the fear disappears before you act. Fear is not a sign to wait. It's a sign that what you're about to do actually matters. On August 13, that fear will show up. It will try to keep you still. It will whisper that you can always try again later. That is the voice you must silence. That is the voice that has kept you exactly where you are. Ask yourself, if nothing changes by August 13, how will the next month look, the next year, the next 5 years? Will you still be talking about the same dreams, holding the same regrets, living the same routine? Or will you finally have the courage to disrupt the cycle and create something new? You cannot keep waiting for someone to push you. No one is coming to make this decision for you. No one is coming to hand you the perfect opportunity. No one will force you to step into the unknown. It is on you. Always has been, always will be, and that's the beauty of it, because the same way no one else can do it for you, no one can stop you either. August 13 can be the date you look back on and say, that's when everything started to shift. Not because life magically changed overnight, but because you stopped playing the role of a passenger and became the driver. Because you stopped waiting for a sign and made yourself the sign. Because you understood that no date changes your life unless you change on that date. The clock will keep moving whether you act or not. Midnight will come. August 13 will arrive. The question is, will you cross that line as the same person you've been or as the person you decided to become? One choice keeps you in the same loop, the other breaks it forever. The decision is yours and time will not wait. If you let August 13 pass without action, nothing will punish you. Life will simply give you more of what you've been tolerating. But if you choose differently, if you take that first step, no matter how small, you will feel the shift immediately. You will know you've moved from living by default to living by decision. And that is the kind of change that doesn't fade. August 13 is coming, whether you're ready or not. And maybe that's the whole point. You don't need to be ready. You need to be willing. And once you are, everything changes. August 13 will not change your life just because the calendar says so. The real change begins when you are fully aware of how you've been living until now. Awareness is the foundation. Without it, nothing is real. Without it, every promise to yourself is just noise. You cannot break free from what you are not aware of. That is why August 13 must not be approached with blind excitement. It must be approached with clear eyes. Think for a moment. How many of your days pass in automatic mode? You wake up, follow the same routine, have the same thoughts, feel the same emotions, and react to life in the same predictable way. You call it living, but it's more like sleepwalking. If you enter August 13 in that same state, nothing will happen. The date will come and go, and you will remain the same. Awareness is the key that turns a simple day into a turning point. And being aware means you look at yourself without excuses. You see the patterns you keep repeating, the words you keep saying, the habits you keep defending. It means you admit the truth, even when it's uncomfortable. If August 13 is to be the day where everything changes, you must arrive at it with that kind of honesty. Without that, your mind will keep convincing you that you are doing fine, when deep down, you know you're not moving anywhere. Awareness is not always pleasant. In fact, it often feels like an attack on the self image you've built. But that's why so many people avoid it. They would rather keep distracting themselves than confront the truth. On August 13, if you want change, you must face yourself directly. No filters, no justifications, no stories, just the truth about where you are and why you are there. Ask yourself, what have you been avoiding? What do you keep postponing? What do you know you need to do but keep pushing to later? Awareness forces you to answer those questions, not with excuses, but with facts. And once you see those facts clearly, you can no longer pretend you don't know. That is the moment where change becomes possible. Most people will look at August 13 and think, this will be my breakthrough. But breakthroughs are not random events. They are the result of a long build up of awareness. The date can be the trigger, but the readiness comes from seeing your life clearly beforehand. Without that clarity, you might feel motivated for a day or two, but soon you will slide back into your old patterns. That is why awareness must come first, because it is what keeps the change alive after the excitement fades. Think about it like this. If you're lost in a city but refuse to admit you're lost, you will keep walking in circles. But the moment you stop, look around, and say, I don't know where I am, you have already taken the first step toward finding the right direction. August 13 can be that stop. It can be the moment you finally admit to yourself where you are and why you're there. Only then can you move forward with purpose. This is not about blaming yourself. Awareness is not self-punishment, it's self-liberation. You cannot change the past, but you can see it for what it is and decide differently for the future. When you bring awareness to your actions, your thoughts, and your patterns, you reclaim control. You stop living by default. You stop being a prisoner of habits you didn't choose. You begin to choose consciously. That is how August 13 becomes the start of something new. The danger is in thinking you are already aware when you are not. Comfort can make you blind. Routine can make you numb. You think you're awake because your eyes are open, but inside you're still asleep. That's why you must challenge yourself before August 13 arrives. Ask the hard questions. Look at the areas of your life where you've been pretending everything is fine. Look at the people you allow in your life, the way you use your time, the way you respond to challenges. Are those choices leading you where you want to go? If the answer is no, then August 13 is your call to act, but do not act blindly. Act from awareness. That is the difference between change that lasts and change that fades. When you know exactly what has been holding you back, you can attack it directly. You can cut the root instead of trimming the leaves. On that day, be present. Notice your thoughts. Notice your reactions. Notice the excuses trying to creep in. And then instead of running from them, face them. Because the truth is this: what you refuse to face will control you. What you face will lose its power. August 13 will not hand you a new life. It will give you a chance. And that chance is worthless if you are unaware of what needs to change. Awareness turns a date into a decision. It turns a moment into a movement. It turns a single step into a lifetime shift. When the sun rises on August 13, don't just be awake, be aware. See everything for what it is. See yourself for who you are. And from that place of clarity, take the first step into the life you've been avoiding. That is when everything changes. August 13 will not open a new chapter for you if you insist on carrying the weight of the old one. You cannot step into something new while dragging the old version of yourself behind you. This is why so many people fail to change. They keep holding on to what they claim they want to leave. Old beliefs, old grudges, old fears. And then they wonder why life feels heavy. If August 13 is to mean anything, it must be the day you let go. Letting go is not about losing. It's about creating space, space for growth, space for new experiences, space for a version of yourself that cannot exist if you keep clinging to the old. The self you are today was built on thoughts, habits, and decisions that brought you here. But the self you need to become for tomorrow cannot be built on the same foundation. You must dismantle parts of yourself that no longer serve you. Think about the way a tree grows. For new branches to form, the old dead ones must be cut away. It's the same with you. If you want to grow after August 13, you must be willing to cut away what is dead. That might mean letting go of a certain way of thinking. That might mean ending relationships that keep you small. That might mean releasing the identity you've been protecting for years. And yes, it will feel uncomfortable. But discomfort is the price of transformation. The problem is we get attached to our pain. We hold on to it because it feels familiar. The fear of losing it is often greater than the fear of staying stuck. But here's the truth: nothing new will come into your life if your hands are still full of the old. August 13 can be the year you finally open your grip, the day you release the past so the future can take its place. Letting go is not weakness. It is the ultimate act of strength. It means you trust yourself enough to walk forward without needing to carry every piece of your history. Your mistakes do not need to follow you. Your failures do not need to define you. The people who left you do not need to live rent-free in your mind. The version of you that was hurt, betrayed, or overlooked does not need to control who you become next. If you want August 13 to be the start of something real, you must drop the belief that holding on keeps you safe. Holding on keeps you stuck. It keeps you repeating the same cycles. You will know you are ready for change when you are more afraid of staying the same than you are of letting go. Ask yourself, what am I still carrying that is not mine anymore? What story am I repeating to myself that has already expired? What excuses am I protecting because they give me a reason not to try? On August 13, answer these questions honestly and then take action. That might mean having a hard conversation. That might mean writing something down and burning it. That might mean walking away from something that once meant everything to you. Remember, letting go is not about forgetting. It's about freeing your energy from the grip of the past so you can invest it in the present. You will never have the energy to build a new life if most of it is being used to keep old wounds alive. You will never see the opportunities ahead if your eyes are fixed on the rearview mirror. There will be people who do not understand your decision. They will call it selfish. They will call it cold. But they are not the ones living inside your skin. And you are not the ones who will feel the weight lift when you finally put it down. They are not the ones who will walk through August 13 knowing they are lighter than they have ever been. you must also be prepared for the silence that comes after letting go. At first, it will feel strange, like something is missing. But in that silence, you will hear yourself again. In that emptiness, you will find space for the new. This is where the real change begins. Not in the chaos of holding on, but in the calm of having released what no longer belongs to you. If you step into August 13 still chained to your old self, nothing will change. The date will pass, and you will still be carrying the same baggage into the next week, the next month, the next year. But if you step into it with open hands and a willingness to drop what is heavy, you will walk lighter. You will feel different. And that difference will show in the way you speak, the way you think, the way you act. August 13 is the doorway. Letting go is the key. Without it, and the door remains locked. With it, the possibilities on the other side are endless. This is not about erasing your past. It is about refusing to let it dictate your future. The moment you truly let go is the moment you step into the life you have been too afraid to claim. And that is when everything changes. August 13 will mean nothing if it is only about motivation. Change is not a spark that burns for one night and fades. It is a fire that must be kept alive through discipline. Discipline is what separates those who talk about transformation from those who live it. You can be inspired for a moment. You can feel unstoppable for a day, but without discipline, you will return to the same patterns that kept you stuck. If you want August 13 to mark a true shift, you must make discipline the foundation. Discipline is not about punishment. It is about commitment. It is the ability to do what needs to be done even when you don't feel like doing it. That is where most people fail. They act when it's easy and stop when it's hard. But growth lives in the hard moments. It lives in the mornings you don't want to get up but do anyway. It lives in the days you don't feel motivated but still keep going. August 13 is not a magic doorway. It's a test. It's the moment where you decide if you will keep making excuses or if you will build the habits that carry you forward. If you want to become someone new, you cannot rely on your emotions to guide your actions. Your emotions are temporary. They will tell you to rest when you should move. They will tell you to quit when you are close to breaking through. Discipline is the voice that overrides that weakness. It says, I don't care how you feel, we move forward anyway. On August 13, that voice must be louder than your excuses. Think about every goal you have ever set but never reached. Was it because you lacked the ability? Or was it because you stopped showing up when it got uncomfortable? Talent, skill, even intelligence, none of them matter without the discipline to apply them consistently. This is why some people with less talent succeed while others with more talent fail. August 13 should be the day you stop relying on inspiration and start relying on discipline. Discipline is not built in grand gestures. It is built in small, repeated actions. Waking up earlier than you want to, saying no when it's easier to say yes, staying focused when distractions tempt you, doing the work without announcing it. The world will not applaud you for being disciplined in the beginning, but eventually the results will speak so loudly that no one will be able to ignore you. Understand this: discipline is freedom. Without it, you are a slave to your moods, your cravings, your impulses. With it, you are in control. You decide where your time goes. You decide where your energy flows. You decide what you build. August 13 can be the day you take that control back, not by talking about what you'll do, but by proving it to yourself every single day after. There will be days after August 13 when you don't feel the excitement anymore. Days when you will question why you started. Days when nothing seems to be moving. That is when discipline matters the most, because real change is invisible in the beginning. You will plant the seeds and see nothing for weeks, but the disciplined person keeps watering, keeps tending, keeps believing. And then one day, without warning, the results appear. Ask yourself, what would your life look like if you kept every promise you made to yourself? How far ahead would you be if you had shown up every single time you said you would? On August 13, commit to being the person who follows through. Not once, not twice, but every time, even when no one is watching, especially when no one is watching. Discipline also means doing the uncomfortable work of holding yourself accountable. Stop lowering the standard when you fail to meet it. Stop giving yourself permission to quit and calling it self-care. Stop waiting for someone else to remind you of your goals. This is your life. This is your responsibility. No one else is coming to build it for you. And here is the truth. You will not always feel rewarded for your discipline immediately. The results will come later. But you will feel something far more valuable right away: self-respect, the knowledge that you are in control of yourself, the pride of knowing you are no longer driven by weakness, the certainty that when you say you will do something, you mean it. On August 13th, don't just decide to change, decide to stay changed. Decide to be the kind of person who doesn't need to be reminded, motivated, or pushed. Decide to be relentless in your own growth. That is how you turn a date into a transformation, not by waiting for the right feeling, but by acting with discipline every single day, whether the feeling is there or not. When you look back months from now, you won't remember every moment of motivation. You will remember the days you pushed through when you could have stopped. Those are the days that will define you. And if you start on August 13 with that level of commitment, everything in your life will begin to shift, not because you wanted it, but because you earned it. August 13 will not come dressed in comfort. It will not arrive with clear skies and an easy road. More often than not, it will arrive with obstacles, pressure, and moments that make you question whether you are ready. This is why most people miss their turning point. They see the challenge as a reason to stop instead of a sign to move forward. But the truth is, every challenge around August 13 will carry an opportunity inside it. The only question is whether you will recognize it. Life has a way of hiding growth inside difficulty. It never hands you change without first testing your willingness to earn it. That is why obstacles appear right when you decide to take a step forward. They are not punishments. They are proof that you are moving into a space you have never entered before. On August 13, you must train your eyes to see the gift inside the struggle. Most people treat challenges as interruptions, something that blocks the plan. But what if the challenge is the plan? What if the very thing you are trying to avoid is the thing designed to prepare you for what you asked for? Growth is not found in smooth, predictable days. Growth is found in the moments that stretch you beyond your limits. On August 13, something may go wrong. You may feel resistance from people around you. You may face an unexpected setback. You may feel your old habits trying to pull you back. This is where most will retreat to what's familiar. They will take the difficulty as a sign to turn around. But those who understand will see it differently. They will understand that difficulty is not the enemy, it is the doorway. Ask yourself, how many times have you prayed, wished, or worked for a breakthrough only to quit the moment it became uncomfortable? You asked for strength and life gave you situations to test it. You asked for confidence and life gave you moments to prove it. You asked for opportunity and life gave you the challenge that would prepare you for it. But without the right mindset, you saw it as a problem instead of preparation. August 13 can be the day you change that mindset. When something challenges you, stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what is this teaching me? That single shift will turn every obstacle into an opportunity. Because once you learn the lesson inside the challenge no longer controls you. Every great transformation comes with a trial. There is no growth without friction. Steel is not made strong without fire. Muscles do not grow without resistance. And you will not step into your next level without facing the kind of test that forces you to rise above your old self. On August 13, that test will come in some form. Do not run from it. Stand in it. Let it shape you. The truth is, most people want change without cost. They want success without sacrifice. They want growth without growing pains. But that's not how it works. The very reason August 13 can be the day where everything changes is because you will face something that makes you uncomfortable. And instead of retreating, you will push forward. Opportunities often wear the disguise of difficulty. They will not announce themselves with flashing lights. They will not feel like a gift at first. But when you look back, you will realize that the struggle you faced on August 13 was exactly what you needed. Not because it was pleasant, but because it transformed you into the kind of person who can handle what's next. So, when August 13 comes and something blocks your path, don't complain. Don't run. Don't wait for it to disappear. Ask yourself how you can use it. Ask yourself what it's trying to prepare you for. Challenges are not there to destroy you. They are there to sharpen you, but they only work if you keep moving forward through them. You must also remember that the size of your challenge often matches the size of your next opportunity. Small challenges prepare you for small rewards. Great challenges prepare you for great ones. If August 13 hits you hard, take it as a sign that something bigger is waiting on the other side. But you will never see it if you quit halfway. When that moment comes, and it will, your reaction will decide everything. You can see the obstacle as a wall, or you can see it as a stepping stone. You can tell yourself this is the end, or you can tell yourself this is the training. And once you decide that every challenge is part of the preparation, nothing can stop you from moving forward. On August 13, the test will come. It may arrive as failure. It may arrive as rejection. It may arrive as a situation you didn't want but cannot avoid. See it for what it is, not a setback, but a setup. Not a punishment, but a preparation. Not a dead end, but a doorway. The only thing that matters is whether you have the courage to walk through it. If you can look at every challenge on August 13 and see the opportunity inside it, you will never be the same again. Because then you will have mastered one, the greatest truths of growth. Life will not give you what you ask for. It will give you the situations that prepare you to receive it. And if you embrace that truth, everything changes. August 13 will not wait for you to feel ready. It will not slow down so you can catch up. It will not pause so you can think about whether you want to act. The truth is, readiness is an illusion. People spend years preparing, learning, waiting for the perfect moment, and the perfect moment never comes. If August 13 is going to be the day where everything changes, you must stop waiting and start acting. Too many lives are wasted because people believe they need more time before they begin. They tell themselves they need more skills, more confidence, more clarity. But all of that comes after you start, not before. Action is the doorway to readiness. Every step you take sharpens your skill, strengthens your confidence, and clears your vision. If you delay until you feel ready, you will delay forever. On August 13, you have a choice to stay where you are or to move toward what you want. And this choice is urgent, not because the date itself is magical, but because it can be the line you draw in your life, the line between who you were and who you are becoming. But you cannot cross that line in your head. You must cross it in your actions. The danger of waiting is that it becomes a habit. Each time you postpone your start, you train yourself to choose hesitation over courage. You begin to believe your own excuses. You begin to live in a loop where nothing changes because nothing is ever started. August 13 can break that loop, but only if you decide to act now, not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel ready. This is not about reckless action. It is about decisive action. It is about saying, I may not know everything, but I will begin. The truth is, most of what you need to learn will only be revealed once you are already moving. Books, plans, advice, they can guide you, but they cannot replace the lessons that come from direct experience. When you act before you feel ready, you force yourself to adapt. You train your mind and body to respond under pressure. You stop hiding behind preparation and start building momentum. Momentum is the force that carries you forward even when motivation fades. And August 13 can be the day you generate it. Think about all the times in your life you finally took a step forward. How many of those times were you truly ready? How many times did you actually feel completely prepared? Almost never. And yet, when you started, things began to align. Doors opened, opportunities appeared. Why? Because action creates movement and movement creates opportunity. If August 13 is going to be your turning point, you must silence the voice that says, not yet. That voice is fear in disguise. It tries to protect you from failure, but in doing so, it traps you in the very life you are trying to escape. You cannot grow without risk. You cannot change without movement. And you cannot step into the unknown while clinging to the comfort of waiting. Some will argue that you should wait until the timing is right. But here's the truth. Timing does not make the moment right. You make the timing right by stepping into it. August 13 could be any day. But if you decide it is the day you move forward, it becomes the day everything changes. Not because the universe shifted, but because you did. Even if you start small, start. Do not underestimate the power of the first step. The first step is the one that breaks the pattern. The first step is the one that tells your mind, we are no longer waiting. The first step is the one that builds the foundation for all that follows. On August 13, let that step be taken, not in thought, but in reality. You may fail, yes. You may stumble, but you will be further ahead than you are now. And every failure will carry a lesson that prepares you for the next attempt. Waiting teaches you nothing. Action teaches you everything. When August 13 arrives, don't just think about what you want, move toward it. If it feels uncomfortable, good. That discomfort is proof that you are leaving the safety of the old. If it feels uncertain, good. That uncertainty means you are entering new territory. If it feels risky, good. That risk is the price of growth. Years from now, you will look back on two kinds of days: the days you acted and the days you hesitated. Only one of those will have moved your life forward. Let August 13 be remembered as the day you acted, not perfectly, not without fear, but with enough courage to begin. Because in the end, readiness is not something you wait for. It is something you create through action. And once you understand that, you will never again let hesitation hold you hostage. On August 13, prove to yourself that you are done waiting. Step forward, step boldly, and watch how everything begins to shift the moment you move.